In this training video, I'm going to cover how to create a additional version of a print restricted label. So to give some context, this label was previously sent to supply chain, and supply chain came back to the registration manager with some requested changes, and a message will be sent to the registration manager. So this is going to go to whoever sent the request to supply chain. And so you will get a note. I'm planning to update this to make it a little bit more clear because this note is a little bit nondescript, but you will get an email saying that a change needs to be made. I know in fact that it relates to ban all, and so here's my task that I have to do. The plan as of now is for Dennis or the supply chain manager to add the changes to this attachment section. So you can see here, it shows exactly what needs to be changed in this PRL. So what we need to do is just simply remove this top discharge section. So I'm going to make a draft of this label. So when you make a draft of a document, you are creating a version on top of the current version. So we are never, by creating a draft, we are not changing this documentation number. If we were to create an additional copy, then this number would change. So I'm going to click here, create draft, and then make a note of the changes that need to be made. So you can see I've made a note of what I'm changing, and then I'm going to hit create. Now, a quick note about versioning. I recommend that it be decided among the North American team how you want to use the V's at the end of the label. You have the option of changing the version every time you touch a PRL, and so you'll just add a V to it. You also have the option to only change the V number if it has been sent to the States. Either way, we want to be sure that we're differentiating between each version, especially if they've already been sent to the States. In this example, this label has not been sent to the States, so it's less important and impactful of that V at the bottom. However, it is helpful to know which version you're looking at if the label gets taken outside the system. So I'm going to check this out in order to make my edits. And my track changes is on, which is what I would like to see here. And I'm going to scroll down to the section that needs to be adjusted. There's a blank page here, which I don't care to see, so I'm going to delete that. And then scroll down to the bottom discharge, and this is the section that needs to be removed. So I'm going to highlight it and backspace. And then I'm going to go to the V, and I'm going to update the version to version 3. As this keeps it clear in my mind that this is now a different label, and I want to know that if I ever look at it separately. So I'm going to close this document. It should have saved automatically, and then I'm going to edit the title as well to note V3. Okay. Oh, and we need to add the regulatory action. So you can get the regulatory action here. We have it in the title already. So I can just add that as metadata. There it is. Great. And the text date is V3. And from here we can check the document back in. So you can do that by clicking on the little pencil. I saved my metadata, and now I'm check in. And then here is a section that you can add that same comment again about what we did. Check in. All right, so now we have our edits in the label. So I'll scroll down and just check them. There's our V3, and here is the section that we struck out, so you can see it's no longer there. If you want to see the track changes version of the label, you can go to Actions and see Word Render Settings and click on All Markups, and then now we'll see the markups of the label. So now you see that we changed that setting. You can see the strikeouts that we did. All right, so at this point I would say I feel like our label looks good and I'm ready to release it. So I'm going to release, yes. And if your document is still in an active workflow, you can hit complete, and then this will send the notification back to supply chain. This label was done prior to that active notification process working. So I will click here and then send notification to supply chain, and that will send the notification over to Dennis.